Rosalinda Celentano. The shocking truth behind the demonic face in The Passion of the Christ. You may not know her name, but chances are you have seen her face, a cold, breath-stopping, haunting, almost genderless face that appeared in one of the most controversial films in modern cinema, The Passion of the Christ. No dialogue, no unnecessary gestures, yet with nothing but her eyes and a presence that felt as if it came from another world. Rosalinda Celentano instilled unease in millions of viewers across the globe as Satan. But who is the woman behind that chilling face? An actress, a model, an eccentric artist born from darkness, or a sensitive soul trying to escape the enormous shadow of her famous family? The life of Rosalinda Celentano is a journey of struggle, identity, invisible burdens, and above all, the journey of becoming herself in a world that constantly tried to mold her into someone else. And born beneath the spotlight, yet belonging to her own darkness, Rosalinda Celentano was born on July 15, 1968, in Rome, Italy, into a family whose names had already become legends in the Italian entertainment industry. Her father, Adriano Celentano, singer-actor, cultural icon, known as Il Moleggiato. Her mother, Claudia Mori, actress, singer, successful producer. Her siblings, Rosita and Giacomo, both pursued artistic paths. Rosalinda grew up in a household where film directors, musicians, and artists were regular visitors. But amid this noisy world, she was the opposite. A quiet child. Introverted. A girl who preferred drawing, sitting alone, retreating into her own world, a world far removed from the glamorous expectations placed upon her. The name Celentano was a crown, but for Rosalinda, it was also a chain. From a young age, she was compared, judged, and pushed toward roles she never wanted to play. She realized early on that she didn't fit the traditional image of femininity. Her beauty, sharp, androgynous, unusual, made her both striking and out of place. Yet it was precisely that sense of displacement that would later help her create one of the most unforgettable portrayals of Satan in cinema history, stepping into art driven not by fame, but by difference. Instead of using her family's influence to land major roles, Rosalinda chose a slower, deeper path. During the 1990s, she appeared in several Italian art house films. Not commercial hits, not mainstream, but spaces where she could experiment with characters and explore psychological depth. Filmmakers didn't seek her out because she was Celentano's daughter. They came for something else, her strange magnetic aura, an interplay of fragility and danger. At the same time, she ventured into fashion. In an era where Italy idolized classic feminine beauty, Rosalinda, with her sharp features, short hair, and half-shadowed gaze, became a symbol of non-traditional aesthetics. She didn't perform. She existed, a presence unlike any other. And that presence caught the attention of one ambitious and controversial Hollywood director, Mel Gibson. The Passion of the Christ, the role that shook the world. In 2003, Mel Gibson was searching for an actor to portray Satan in The Passion of the Christ, a character meant to embody a disturbing blend of male and female beauty and horror humanity, and something beyond it. He needed a face that was gender ambiguous, emotionless yet unsettling, soft and sharp at the same time, iconic rather than character-like. He found all of that in Rosalinda. On-screen shaved eyebrows, pale ghost-like face, deep cold eyes, slow, smooth, serpent-like movements. Rosalinda became what critics later called the most beautiful and terrifying Satan in film history. No dialogue, no special effects. Her eyes alone sent shivers down the spine of audiences. The infamous scene where Satan carries a grotesque, deformed baby, a twisted parody of the Madonna and Child, sparked global outrage and fascination. Her name spread across the world overnight. But fame always has a price. The cost of an iconic role, fame, pressure, and a cage of her own creation. After the film's success, the media labeled her the face of the devil, the hauntingly beautiful Satan, the best silent villain ever portrayed. But to Rosalinda, this felt like being locked inside her own role. Many directors approached her afterward, but mostly for roles that resembled Satan, eerie, emotionless, supernatural characters. She became a victim of her own brilliance. Yet Rosalinda refused to live inside that cage. She returned to painting photography, fashion, and art films, even though they brought far less money and recognition. Because for her, art was not a career, it was oxygen, battling illness, depression, and judgment. Behind the spotlight, Rosalinda was far more vulnerable than people imagined. She revealed that she struggled for years with severe depression, faced significant health issues, endured the pressure of her family's fame, was scrutinized by the media for her looks and personal life, was judged for openly being a lesbian in conservative Italy. Yet through all this pain, she found her artistic voice. Her paintings, photographs, and performances all carry the quiet suffering of someone walking between light and darkness, a symbol of truth, loving living and fighting authentically. Rosalinda Celentano is not the kind of artist who seeks fame. She doesn't try to please the public. She never pretends to be perfect. She chooses to live honestly, love honestly, create honestly, confess honestly, even when honesty makes her misunderstood or labeled as strange. This sincerity made her a symbol for those who don't fit societal norms, have non-traditional gender expression, possess an unconventional artistic mind, struggle silently with internal battles. Rosalinda never tried to become a symbol, but she became one simply by living authentically. Art as her refuge and her rawest truth. To Rosalinda, art is not a profession. It's therapy. It's survival after the Passion of the Christ. Instead of capitalizing on Hollywood fame, she retreated into painting and photography. In her tiny studio filled with natural light, unfinished canvases, and the smell of oil paint, she painted her loneliness, her fear of depression, her fractured inner self. Every stroke felt like opening a wound, but opening it to heal. Art kept her from being permanently frozen as the face of the devil. It saved her, exposed her, and reflected the corners of her soul she hid from the world. Life beyond the screen, intense love, and fragile vulnerability. Despite looking strong, mysterious, and cold on camera in real life, Rosalinda is incredibly sensitive. In one rare interview, she said, "I love with my whole heart, and that's why it hurts." Being openly lesbian in traditional Italy invited criticism, but she never hid her identity. She fell for strong women, women with fire in their hearts. Yet her own fragility sometimes made love difficult. But she never apologized for loving deeply. At the aftermath of fame, when a single role becomes destiny, no matter how many films or exhibitions she does for most global audiences, she remains Satan. At public events, people called her La Satana, the devil woman, the most beautiful demon of the 21st century. Some were fascinated, some afraid, some misunderstood. Some thought she truly embodied evil. She once said, "I played the role with the heart of an actress, but some people look at me as if I really were that character." This is the tragedy of actors who perform too well, trapped by their own success. Rosalinda accepted this fate with quiet grace. Her later career, quiet, selective, and profoundly deep. After such a breakthrough, most actors would chase Hollywood. Rosalinda didn't. She chose meaningful roles, complex characters, European art films, independent projects. Directors loved her, not for fame, but for her eyes that told stories, her unique presence, her authenticity, the emotional weight she brought to every scene. She became the artist admired by other artists. Androgynous beauty from strange to iconic. In the 90s, her androgynous look was mocked. She was not feminine enough, too strange, too cold. But time changed. Fashion changed. Society changed. And suddenly the world was searching for faces like hers. Rosalinda didn't follow the trend. She was ahead of it. And years of depression, the silent battle of a fragile yet fierce soul. Few know that Rosalinda fought depression for years. She described it as a room without a door, darkness without sound, drowning inside your own thoughts. While the world saw her as the embodiment of darkness, she was fighting real darkness inside. But she didn't fall. She sought art, love, stillness, nature, self-understanding. She said, "I don't try to escape the darkness. I learn to walk through it." It is a sentence that encapsulates her life. Rosalinda's true legacy, not Satan, but herself. Her greatest legacy is not her portrayal of Satan. It is her courage to live differently, raw honesty, ability to turn pain into art, refusal to conform, resilience, authenticity. Mel Gibson chose her because he needed someone beyond categorization. And Rosalinda herself has lived that way all her life. A singular cut in cinematic history and in the hearts that seek truth. Rosalinda Celentano's life is like a decades-long art film, quiet, haunting, profound. Born under stardom, yet never a typical star. Gifted with rare beauty, yet paying a price for it. Living with pain, yet creating art from it. She has fought judgment, fame's shadow, identity expectations, loneliness, depression. Yet in one destined moment, she embodied Satan and became immortal in cinema. But it is not the demon's face we remember most. It is Rosalinda, the human being. She is not perfect, but she is real.
Authenticity isn't about
and that is why the world cannot forget her. In a world obsessed with perfection, she dares to be vulnerable. In a world demanding conformity, she insists on difference. In a world craving light, she walks through darkness with courage. She is not a hero, not an angel, not a demon. She is a soul with many edges, sharp, soft, wounded, luminous. And that is what makes her unforgettable.